And welcome to the program Big Talk on Global Television. My name is Anthony Momodu, and today we'll be focusing on the aviation sector. Specifically on Wednesday, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu did give order for the sack of 5 MDs and DGs in the aviation industry. This has thrown the aviation industry into bittersweet memories and moments as stakeholders in the aviation industry are looking forward to what is to come. Already one of the big stories that suspended DG of the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority in the person of Captain Musa Nuhu has been suspended, and according to the president, this is to allow for a proper investigation by the EFCC. So these and other issues around the aviation industry is what has inspired today's talking point, as we'll be talking to a civil aviation expert in the person of Abubakar Tanimu, who is joining us via the phone call to give us insight as regards what's happening. All right, good evening, Tanimu. Nice to have you join us on the program Big Talk.
Good evening. It's my pleasure.
All right. Let's look at what has happened in the aviation industry.
Right after a lot of money has been spent in the industry, so it's long overdue, and I would say I commend Mr. President for that. However, it's a welcome development. Change is something that is constant, and we should embrace change. Definitely is a predictable appointment, and they are the mercy of their employer, and anytime they can be removed from office, only when the performance is not satisfactory. So it's a welcome development. Welcome is a good heart.
Okay, let's look at some of the reasons the president gave for this change. He talked about bringing world-class standards to the aviation industry. He talked about consumers getting the best in terms of when there are delayed flights or canceled flights, the compensation should be paid to the consumers. How realistic are these things, and those that have been brought to replace these persons? Hello? Hello? Tanimu, can you hear him? Can you hear me?
Hello, are you there?
Yes, I said, what is how realistic is what the president has said he wants to achieve by sacking these 5 MDs and DGs? He says he wants world-class standards to be brought to the aviation industry, and also for better consumer, protection.
Hello, are you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now, loud and clear.
Okay, I said the president said one of the reasons he made this sack is because he wanted world-class standards to be brought into the aviation industry, and he wants Nigerian consumers to have better treatment. Do you see this happening?
Well, I would say it's happening, but not to the extent that we Nigerians want to see. In the sense that we want, just as Mr. President has said, we want to have a free aviation sector where the passengers will be protected. Exactly. Passengers should know their rights, especially when it comes to traveling, missing of flight, delay of flight. Passengers should know their rights, and they should have a government that will back them up, at least that will support help when there's infringement of rights in any aspect of it. So it's a welcome development, and we praise Mr. President for that.
Okay, for these newly appointed people that are taking over, do you think there's going to be any form of interference from the other sector DGs and MDs? Do you think these new persons in the helm of affairs are going to have free hands to run the affairs of the aviation sector? Hello? Tadimu, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes, I said, what are your expectations of these new people at the helm of affairs? Abubakar Tanimu, can you hear me? Tanimu, can you hear me?
Okay, I don't know. Is the line is breaking. I can hear you now.
I said, what are the expectations of these new people in charge? Do you think they'll be able to deliver the goods?
Okay, like generally, if you see that Nigeria generally, the problem we're always having is not or maybe the ability of the people to work. That's always the issue. The issue is the implementation, the political will to deliver. Of course, if you go through their credentials, based on experience and qualification, they are well qualified, and based on the experience and qualification, they can. Now, do they have the political will to deliver? And they do the work without interference. So that's the issue. But based on the qualification and the experience that they are coming with, I believe they will deliver, if only they will be allowed to deliver. So that's it.
So who are the likely people likely to stop them from delivering? Is it the government or who? Who are these people you suspect? Can you hear me? Abubakar, can you hear me?
Are you there?
Yes, I said who and what are the likely things that will stop them from delivering the goods? Hello, can you hear me? All right, trying to get across. Abubakar, can you hear me? We're having some challenges getting across and network not so clear. But we'll be looking at the aviation industry, the charge by the president to ensure that world-class standards are brought into Nigeria's aviation industry to ensure that Nigerian passengers get the very best of treatment in terms of whenever their flights have been delayed or cancelled, that the airlines will be able to pay compensations to Nigerians to ensure that they get the very best of aviation industry. We're talking to an aviation expert in the person of Abubakar Tanimu, who works with one of the airlines to get his take as regards the expectations of major players and the fringe players in the aviation sector. Abubakar, are you back? Abubakar, can you hear me? I think the network's quite dodgy. All right, so we're hoping that on Wednesday, it was announced by the president that he had sacked the FAN, the NEMA, and MDs.
Hello, are you there?
Yes, I'm there. Can you hear me? My question to you is Captain Musa Nuhu that's the DG of the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, who was suspended. Can you give us an insight why he was suspended? Hello? All right, I think, hello?
Okay, I'm with you now.
I said Captain Musa Nuhu, or the DG of the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, was suspended for him to face interrogation or investigation by EFCC. Can you give us a clue what really happened? All right, I think we'll go for a very quick break. Hopefully, when we come back from the break, we'll see if we can restore our connection with Abubakar Tanimu to give us a clear picture as what played out, why Captain Musa Nuhu was suspended. And we'll get back to you after this break. Stay with us. right, welcome back from the break. You're still watching Big Talk on Global Television, and we're still talking to our aviation expert in the person of Abubakar Tanimu, who we're speaking to live from the Abuja International Airport. Tanimu, let's look at the issue of Captain Musa Nuhu, the DG of the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, who was suspended for interrogations by the FCC to go through. Can you give us an idea what really happened?
Okay, well, definitely, if you see among all the DGs, I would say he was the only one that was suspended, not actually sacked, in the sense that for EFCC to carry out the investigation, pending when maybe the outcome of his investigation or whatever. But definitely, I believe the government must have maybe some information or maybe access to some information that we don't have access to. So for them to say the EFCC to carry out investigation, I believe they must have been maybe suspicions of maybe abuse of office or maybe misappropriation of funds. So definitely, since it's under investigation, I would say we'll wait, let's see the outcome of investigation. And if maybe at the course of investigation, if he's found wanting or guilty of any financial misappropriation or abuse of office, then definitely it should be faced the full wrath of the law. Nobody is above the law, so that at least anybody who is coming should also know that if you misappropriate, if you abuse office or whatever, you are liable to face the wrath of the law. So it's a welcome development. So let's wait. Let EFCC carry out their duty and wait for the outcome of the investigation.
But within the industry, has there been any previous allegation against Captain Musa Nuhu?
Well, so far, I would say none that I know, none that I'm aware of so far, except maybe from the field in Nigeria that couldn't work out. Definitely, they are the regulators, so I believe the government must have their reason for that. So just as I say, let's leave that to EFCC. Wait for the outcome.
All right.
Because actually, no reason was given for that, for his investigation, but definitely, just as I said, the government must have access to some information that we don't have. So let's wait for the outcome of investigation before we conclude on that.
All right, let's look at one of the key issues of paying compensation to consumers when a flight is delayed or a flight is cancelled. How realistic is it? Do you think airlines would do that? Both local and international airlines. I know you work with an international airline. Which do you think the local or international airlines will be willing to pay compensations?
Okay, I will say one thing with the aviation sector worldwide. I would say it's one of the most regulated, if not the most regulated industry in the whole world. Okay. So there are policy in place which is regulated by the IATA, the International Air Transport Association. So definitely there's a policy in place. What the passengers just need to do, maybe whenever if there's a delay when it comes to an international flight, is the responsibility of the airline to take care of the passengers, the passengers who have checked in, the passenger in the manifesto of the airline. So depending on the hours of delay, it's incumbent of the airline to provide accommodation and even feeding, depending on the level of delay, which the international airline are doing that well, which I'm aware of. So what the passengers need to do, passengers should know their rights. They should know, at least if a passenger is able to gather evidences, and maybe if they're able to get their evidence appropriately, they can approach the airline and tell them, okay, this is what happened, this is not my fault. So as a result of that, I'm reliable. That is the airline should compensate, which the airline will look into it, and if they find out that actually it was actually from their own fault, the airline compensate, because just like I said, it's an international policy, it's a regulation. So I don't think any airline want to violate that, because before you are giving approval a license, there are some vigorous exercises that you have to undergo with the international organization. So it's just for the passengers now to be enlightened. They should know their rights and also gather evidences, present to the airline, and definitely they will get the compensation. So it's feasible.
Okay. That's for international airlines. What of the local airlines? Have they been complying? Tanimu, I said, well, that's for international. For local airlines, do you think they've been complying with this law or this policy of compensation?
Hello?
Yes. I said, you said the international airlines have been complying. What of the local airlines? Hello, are you there? Abubakar?
Hello, are you there?
Yes, I said, what about the local airlines? Have they been complying? All right, I think we're losing touch with him once again, and we were wanting to confirm if the local airlines are also complying with the issue, the policy of compensation of the clients, talking about the passengers when flights are either delayed or cancelled. All right, Abubakar, if you're there, I would like to wrap it up. Hello? Okay, I think that's how much time is going to allow us to take on today's edition of the program. The Big Talk. We've been talking with Abubakar Tanimu, who is a aviation expert. We've been looking at the issue of the recent sack of 5 DGs and MDs.
Hello, Mr. President, are you there?
Hello, Abubakar, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Abubakar? All right, I think that's how much time will allow us. That's how we'll call it a wrap on today's edition of the program. The Big Talk, we were talking to an aviation expert as regards the recent sweeping changes in the aviation sector, what it means and what the expectations are for Nigerians moving forward. And like Tanimu has said, he's hoping that, he said the changes were long overdue, and he's hoping that this new persons in the helm of affairs would be able to carry out their duties without any form of interference. And for passengers and clients, make sure you have your facts and your details, and you will definitely get compensated once your flight is either delayed or cancelled altogether. All right, my name remains Anthony Momodu, saying thank you for joining me on the program, The Big Talk. Good evening.